There must be someone up above. Say you come on, Brittany. You got to come on. You got to hold on.
Hello and welcome to the Raider Podcast. This is Coach Fitch. I'm very excited. It is May 3rd, and I'm so excited because I'm joined by Josie Keenan today. And so excited. Yeah, she's a senior this year and a girl that I've been close to for a long time, coming to Fitch basketball camp, and it's been amazing seeing her grow up. So Josie, first of all, how you doing? How you handling this whole thing right now?
I'm doing surprisingly well. I've only really gotten sad once about the whole senior year ending type thing, because I've kind of just been okay, this is what's happening, let's just move on and kind of do something better with the situation. So I've been trying to stay productive throughout the whole thing instead of just being on my bed I wish I was doing all these senior activities. But obviously I'm sad about it because I wish. I'm more angry than sad, but I can't really change that. But I'm just trying to stay productive and distract myself from what's going on. So, yeah.
No, I think that's great. I think, I'm trying to embrace the positives, and I think there are some positives that are going to come out of it, but it's still hard being your senior year. But, I think the school is committed to really celebrating you guys at the end, and hopefully that comes out.
Yeah.
One thing with you, Josie, this past summer, you were getting ready for your volleyball season, and you dealt with a knee injury, and I think that it was something that I was really amazed by the way you handled it. So can you go into your knee surgery a little bit and how that kind of impacted you?
Yeah, so I was just starting the summer recruitment process for colleges, and I was at a showcase with all of my colleges I was looking at, all of them were there, and 20 minutes into the camp, I fall and tear my ACL, and at first I didn't think I tore my ACL because I heard people could walk afterwards, but I couldn't walk. And so I just thought oh, maybe there's still hope. I didn't tear my ACL. And then we found out that I blew out my entire knee. So it's going to be a little longer than just a normal recovery.
Okay.
And I kind of, when it first happened, obviously I was bawling my eyes out. I was like, no, this can't be happening. And then I only cried twice, which is good for me. And the second time was when it was in the office with Mrs. Fitch, and she's like, yeah, I think it's an ACL tear. And I was like, no. And I was trying not to cry in front of her because she sees me all the time. I don't want her to see me like that. But that's when it kind of sunk in that I wasn't going to play my senior year, and it was going to be a long time before I got back. And that just how long it was going to be didn't really settle until September, because it was kind of oh, I'm on vacation. It's a month off, not too bad. And then I get back to school and it's oh, there's homecoming games, there's sectionals. I really wish I was doing this right now. But rehab kept me busy. I did that every single day. I went to PT all the time. And I was on the team, but as a manager type thing. So not really a manager, but I was just there.
Sure.
And I was also a photographer on the team. So photography kind of kept me busy throughout this whole thing because it just kept me happy. It distracted me from me not playing sports, which was very big in my life. I used to always play sports 24/7.
Sure.
So photography, I started that more intensely senior year. So that made me really happy. So I kind of just upped my game a little.
So one thing that really impressed me though was you didn't hang your head, you didn't sulk, you didn't get lost in your own injury. All of a sudden I saw you at every sporting event. You were involved in everything and supporting everybody else. And I was how special is this girl that she has this devastating injury, but yet she's going to impact everybody else in the school. And how did you make that mental shift?
I honestly don't really know, because I used to be so invested in my own sports that I never got to go to any of the basketball games, any of the football games. This was like my first year being in the red zone, like ever really, besides like just volleyball, because girls volleyball went to boys volleyball.
Sure.
But it just distracted me and made me so happy being able to be a part of the Fairport community even more. So I don't know, it just brought like a new spirit in me, because just the red zone, I was never really a part of it, but I kind of like took it for granted in the past. But then this year I was like, oh, let's like get involved in some things. And so it kind of distracted me. And I was just like, don't get down on yourself, because my mom kept saying that. She's like, don't get down. Like, you're going to get back into this. It's going to be great. And they kept pushing, like, let's do track. So that was really what I was going for, was tracks. That was going to be like my season.
Well, I thought it was really incredible. And I think the other thing to kind of take a lesson from is that we've all gotten so ingrained in our own sports that we're not supporting each other as much, you know, and I think that was a lesson that I kind of saw through you. And I just thought that was so powerful and so cool. So I think you've impacted a lot of people this year, which is really neat. I also wanted to ask you, just because I think it's always intriguing, who's impacted you? You know, when you look at teachers or coaches or people involved with the school, because we're not there right now, you know, but those connections are so strong for people. Who are a couple people maybe that impacted you?
Well, 8th grade, I had this teacher, Mrs. Farman, and from that year, she just became like, everybody really has this, like a teacher best friend type thing where you go to for everything. So she's always just supported me through everything. And then 10th grade, I had her again, and I've just always found her as somebody I could talk to for anything. So she's kind of inspired me, and I always think of her when I think of like one of my favorite teachers. And senior year, I had Mr. Malber for leadership, which was so much fun. And he's just always been one of my fans, if that makes sense. But he's just always like, Josie Joe, you got this. Because I saw him in the summer when I was on crutches for my ACL. He always supported me through everything. And I remember one time I saw him in the hallway, and I was like, can I just talk to you this period? Because I didn't get into my dream school, which was really sad. But I went into his class, and he was so supportive and comforting during that time. I was like in the midst of crying in his class, but he was just somebody I felt safe talking to at school, in the school environment. So I was really lucky to have him as a teacher this year.
That was very cool. Very cool. This week is, we've always got a theme for the week, and this week is Make a Difference for the Greater Good. And I think it's about basically having a passion for a cause and trying to bring awareness to it. And then hopefully other people will learn about it, and maybe they'll share the same passion. So is there a cause out there that, you know, kind of motivates you, or that you have a special attention for?
Yeah. So Stop the Stigma. A lot of people know what it is, but if you don't, it is a mental health awareness organization that just brings attention to the overall subject and helps people who are dealing with mental health. And I personally have never had any problems with mental health, but I know some friends who have, and I just can't imagine what they're going through, because I know how hard it can be. And I'm so grateful that I haven't, sorry, that doesn't make sense, but I'm so grateful that I've had such a great support system. Like, if I didn't, then I think I would deal with my knee a lot worse than I did, and my mental health could have gone down really fast. So I'm so grateful for my support system. But some people don't have that, and I just feel very strongly for this subject. And I've worked with Stop the Stigma for like 2 years, maybe, like making videos for them, just bringing awareness to the subject. And the organization first was created because of Jordan Keeley, which was my neighbor. She's on my volleyball team. Like, I know her family and her very well. So that organization just spoke to me a lot deeper than other causes. So I'm grateful that I was able to help out throughout my high school career and maybe make a difference in my videos. But
No
yeah.
question. No question. I think that same example with the Keeley family obviously touched me very deeply as well, and brought my eyes to the needs that are out there. And so I'm very aware of it. And I have players every year that are struggling with it, so it's very real, and it can impact anybody. So one passion of mine and one of my causes, my dad actually had hip surgery. He had a total hip done about 20 years ago, and then he had a revision done. And when they took his hip out, we almost lost him, and he lost about 13 pints of blood.
Oh, wow.
And so it showed me the need for giving blood and how much that can impact somebody, because we would have lost my dad. And so actually last Friday I went and donated, and they said that they're struggling with blood donations right now with the virus that's out there. And so, that's something, whether you have money or not, or, time, it's pretty easy to go donate blood. And so hopefully, we'll get some people out there to donate some blood as well. But
I wish. I love that cause. I just wish I could do that. I am so bad with needles.
Come on, Joes. Come
on. I
on.
love that cause so much. You should have seen me in the hospital when when I was getting my surgery. The biggest thing I was worried about was the needle going in my arm. Ask my mom. I was so scared.
You just got to close your eyes. That's all. Just close your eyes.
I was
don't
more
even know.
afraid of that than the actual surgery, and needles give me the shivers. But I love that you love that cause.
Well, thank you, Josie. Well, thank you for joining me. I meant what I said, and that I have not seen many kids go through what you went through and turn it into such a major positive where you impacted, I feel like, the whole school community. So thank you for being you, and go like the rest of the way. Hopefully we have a great time I know the school still really wants to celebrate the seniors, and hopefully we'll have a great moment to celebrate you guys.
We're trying to plan it soon. We're going to have a meeting, hopefully get that settled.
Sounds
this
great.
isn't over.
No way, man. No way. It's not over. Thank you so much, Josie.
No problem.